Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Shelly from Shelly's Bakeshop. Today we're going to be trying another technique on a small cake. I don't know if you've seen those videos or images of the cakes that have the watercolor effect around the edge and sometimes even on top. I've never done it before. I've always wanted to try, so we're going to give it a whirl today. It doesn't look like it's going to be too hard, so hopefully it'll be something easy that we could do for any occasion or event that we might have. I've already baked my cakes and made my buttercream and my filling. We're doing a small cake again. It's going to be 6-inch, 3 layers white cake. We do have a chocolate mousse for the middle, and it's just going to be buttercream on the outside. So let's get going. Okay, so we've already leveled all 3 of our cakes. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a little quick ring of buttercream around the edge of the top of the cake. You can go as high or as shallow as you want to go, depending on how much filling you want to put in. Now the reason that we're putting this buttercream along the edge is so that when you layer the cakes, it's not going to ooze out the sides. We're just going to smooth it out a little bit. Again, we're going to be adding more to the sides and the top of the cake, so there's no real need to make it perfect because we're just going to put globs of other colors on top and then smooth it out. I actually even got a new tool to try with it. Instead of using these spatulas that I always use to smooth, I got one that's really big and you hold differently, so we're going to try that out. I'll let you know what I think of it, or if you could just use your regular spatula. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to make the colors that we want to use for the watercolor portion of our cake. So I decided to go with a creamy peach, lemon yellow, and a leaf green. Now I bought these at Michael's. They're just icing color. I do use a toothpick to put the color into my buttercream, and then I throw the toothpick out. You don't want to put the toothpick back into your color after you've used it. It's going to mess up your full thing of icing color. So we're just going to do a little bit and see if that's the color that we like. So we'll just mix it all up. Now, if I was going to be icing a cake in a solid color, I would use my KitchenAid stand mixer. It would just go so much quicker and save your arm from mixing and mixing. The more color you use, obviously, the darker it will get. Certain colors like red, if you're trying to make red, it's going to have a funny taste because it takes a long time to get to the color that you're looking for. So you want to make sure that if you are going for red and you're not just going to use the red a little bit to make it pink, you want to purchase the no taste red. Otherwise your icing is going to have a weird taste and you're not going to like it. So I think that that's pretty good for our creamy peach. And then I'm just going to go on and do our yellow and our leaf green. And see, put in a little bit first because sometimes it'll go a lot further than you think it will. And if you want a light color, I would just start with 1. I did about 1.5 of my toothpicks. I didn't put that full one in at the end. Okay, so I've made my colors. I have my peach, my lemon, my green. I did keep a bag of white just in case. Again, I have never done a watercolor cake before, so just in case I needed it, I did put a little bit of the white in the bag before I mixed my colors just in case. Now when I iced the cake, as you saw, I used the reusable 16-inch bag with the tip. For this, I am going to use a bag. I saw a couple girls where they would just take their angled spatula like this and just put some globs of the color on the cake. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the top in a watercolor, so I figured I may as well just use the bag. I'm going to put a coupler in it. You put the coupler into the bag. I'll just show you real quick. You put the coupler into the bag. Now I haven't cut the bag yet, so I'm going to mark it with my fingernail where I'm going to cut it. Cut the tip off. You want to kind of make it nice and clean. Now push my coupler through, and this little piece here will go right on top. Now the reason that I'm going to use the bag instead of just using the spatula is if I decide that I don't want to do the watercolor on the top of the cake also, I might put some designs. So if I'm using these bags with the coupler, I can use any tip I want. I don't have to go and make another bag. I just take this off, put my next tip on, and close it. So I'm going to go ahead and fill these bags, and then we'll start doing the watercolor and see how that goes. Okay, so now our cake is ready to go. We have all of our colors back here in bags. I'm not even going to put a tip on it because we're just going to end up smoothing it. So let's try it. All right. So it looks like from seeing pictures that they just kind of put globs of icing at all random points in the cake. You don't want it to be all even because then it doesn't really have that watercolor feel. I did see some people where they would do this and then even make it like a gradient. So we can even try that sometimes. So we did our green. Put some yellow in. Whoops. I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll see. All right. And then we'll use peach. It's kind of pink, but it's pretty. This cake isn't actually for anything. I've just always wanted to try it, so I thought this was a good excuse. I just wanted to go with like a summer feel with the colors, so my husband actually helped pick them out. I had 4, but he said that these 3 looked good together, so hopefully it comes out good. Now I'm not really sure if I need to be adding more or not, so we'll scrape it, and then I think we could probably add some more if we needed to. All right, so now you guys know that I normally use my spatula. I ordered on Amazon, and I was at Michael's today and I saw it there, this icing smoother. So we'll see if this is any different than my spatula, if I like it any better, or if you can just use anything. So we're gonna give it a whirl and just go ahead and spread it. Takes a lot of icing off. Okay, let's try it again. Now, fortunately, I'm a righty and I have you on the left, but we shall see. Part of that worked, as you can see. Part of it, I feel like I just took all the icing off. So let's start back here where we messed up, and we'll try adding some more icing. Part of it looks okay. Let's try adding some more icing back on and see. I'm not sure that I like this either, but we'll see what happens. Now all I'm doing is going back in and adding icing. pressing it into the cake a little bit more this time. Again, I don't really know. We're making it up as we go. I did watch some other people. They do make it look really easy. But we're gonna find out for real if this comes out as nicely as theirs. I don't know, guys. Try the other way. Let's see if I like this any better. You know what, guys? I think I'm gonna be sticking with my little spatula because that came out a lot better than when I was using their icing smoother. It's looking very rainbow-like. But it's all right. We could always go back and put some white in, maybe. So there's a hole. You know, it's really not looking that bad now. It may just be, this might be my tool that I like. Let's see if we put a little more on, maybe add some white back in, because there are some holes. Like there's a little white here. I'm putting white back on it. And we're gonna see how we like it with some white. Because then you don't have to worry so much about any imperfections from where all of our colors didn't quite cover. I was thinking about putting flowers and things, but I kind of enjoy doing it, so let's see what happens. Okay, so we're just going to start near the edge and kind of spin and swoop in. Well, that didn't really work out correctly. Let's see. We can try again. There, get some off. I'm taking a ton of icing off of this cake. It's crazy. And then if you could see it, I wouldn't use it again. It's mushing all together and starting to look brown almost. Oops, let's get this off. That's a little better actually. Oh yeah. And again, I think I'm gonna go and add a little bit more because I have some white here. A little tiny bit there, but not too much. And this is not really terribly hard once you figure out how to do it. And it's easy to cover any mistakes that you have. Now I think I scraped a little bit too much right there because I could see a tiny bit of cake. So we're just gonna put some back. And again. Now the only complaint I have is right here. So I'm gonna see if I can fix that somehow. I'll put a little icing. The other thing you could always do is pipe a border on. But I would have piped a border on if I didn't do the watercolor on the top, but I really kind of like it. So. Okay, so it's finished. I have to say I am actually pretty pleased with how it came out. I think next time I would actually put a little bit less of the color icing on it, just because I like the parts where you could see the white come through. And then I noticed a couple little spots on the top where they were blending a little bit too much and it's starting to look a little funky. But I think it came out pretty good for the first time that I ever did this. It probably looked harder than it actually was because at the beginning I really didn't know exactly what I was doing. But it was really easy. It's very forgiving. You could just put more icing right over any mistake and redo it, and that was fantastic. As you saw, there were some mistakes. I think my buttercream needed to be a little bit softer. I felt like it was a little stiff, and that made it a little difficult to blend in. But really, it was a pretty simple cake. I made the cakes, the filling, and the icing all this morning, and all three of them took me about an hour. And then this, with filming, probably made it take a little longer, but my husband left about an hour ago to go bowling with some friends, and I started after he left. So maybe 2 hours total on this cake. I think it would actually be really cute if you did the watercolor on the side and then a ganache strip on top. I really like ganache. I think it's delicious. Plus my sister says I like to say the word ganache, but I think it would be really cute. Depending on what colors you do, you can even make the ganache kind of match, or even just white would be cute. But I definitely would do this again. I would recommend trying it. You might struggle a little bit at the beginning like I did, but it comes out looking pretty good. I think it looks pretty impressive, and it was really very easy. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any comments, if you've done this before and you know an easier way to do it, please let me know. But I definitely recommend trying it. You'll never know if you can do it unless you try it. And if you have any other techniques that you might want me to try, I'll definitely give them a whirl. Any recipes that you've always wanted to do but you're not really sure about, I'll do them. I like to try new things. So thank you so much for watching. Leave any questions or comments below. I'll be happy to get back to you, and have a great day. So I was taking a picture of it, and I decided I wasn't too thrilled with the bottom. It kind of juts out a little bit. So I'm going to cover it up with just a really quick little shell border. See if you think it looks any better. I took pictures of both of them, so I'll put them up side by side. You let me know what you think. Thanks.